We need to talk about what happened on Instagram yesterday, February 26, 2025. Now, this video is going to be a bit different. I'm going to talk about some graphic, disturbing things in detail, things that I wish I never had to see. But I will warn you when I do that so you can skip ahead. But overall, this video will not be a positive video. So what am I talking about? Yesterday, when I woke up, I got on my phone, started scrolling Instagram. It was the 26th of February, 2025, and all seemed normal. I start scrolling, and then I see this reel pop up with this cover over it saying sensitive content. Okay, and okay, yeah, sensitive content. I've opened these before, and usually it's something, borderline disturbing. It's like gross or something like that. I opened this one, and it's so now I'm going to describe this, so you might want to skip ahead. It's literally a video of some guy pulls a taser from a police, and the police shoots 6 rounds into the guy. Okay, I did some research. I was like, luckily the guy survived. I was like, phew. Okay, why did this go on my feed? Scroll again. Sensitive content. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to look at that. Scroll again. And then I just noticed that every single video was labeled sensitive content. Okay, scrolled on another one. This time I was like, curiosity got the better of me again. I tapped to see it. And it was a robbery and the guy shooting the robbers. Like in the head, and you actually see it. So I'm very uncomfortable because I'm very sensitive to these things. Okay, so I'm like, this is messed up. Why is this appearing on my feed? Then one more. I don't know why. Don't ask me why I watch these. One more gets the better of me. And this one really got to me the most. But also I got so many bad palpitations talking about this, like my heart's skipping beats because this really affected me. It was, don't listen to this if you're as sensitive as me. But essentially, there was a boy on a roller coaster, young boy. They didn't fit the roller coaster thing. It's one of those tower roller coasters, comes falling down, and you see the boy like flies off, and you hear a thud, and the camera shows his body laying there. And yesterday, I saw that, and it was just, I kind of just felt broke. And then I cried a lot because, sometimes it's just like I imagine being from the person's point of view, like I imagine what the feel of terror must have been, and then the parents having to find out about this. And so I was broken from there. I didn't want to see that, and I felt traumatized, And my girlfriend, she had to comfort me like the whole day because I was bawling, crying for the whole day because of imagining this stuff. Now, I warn you, this is going to be a deep video, but I want to talk about this because I just don't understand why this happened. So, okay, I've seen some graphic things that really affected me, and are still affecting me, by the way. And I'm really angry about it, the whole situation, not just me seeing it, but just everything that I saw. And so I kind of Google, I look it up. Is this happening to anyone else? I saw some reels that were like, you log into Instagram and it's the darkest day of Instagram, and they are showing all their sensitive feeds, and all the comments in the videos are, what's wrong with my Instagram today? All I'm seeing is death, violence, gore, murder. And so I go to Twitter, right, X. I don't use it, but I know that it's easy to find out things quickly because you can search and you can just click latest, and you'll see like seconds by seconds, minute by minutes who's tweeting about this. And I typed in sensitive content, and there you go. Everyone What's wrong with my Instagram today? What's wrong with my Instagram? All I'm seeing is death and violence. I've never watched anything like this. I would never watch anything like this. Why am I being shown this? People were complaining about being traumatized. Some of these people were watching every one, complaining they couldn't sleep in the night. And I'll show you some screenshots of what people were complaining about. So it's confirmed. Other people are experiencing this issue. Something definitely has gone wrong. People start making conspiracy theories. So the reason I'm making this video is just to ask, what was this? People said the moderators have stopped moderating. But to me, it was clear that this wasn't a lack of moderators. This type of content is not supposed to make it past the algorithms. The AI is supposed to identify this, and it shouldn't be making it past, let alone being pushed out to people's explore pages. Yes, there are cases where sensitive content can appear, but as I said at the beginning, it's not death of a child, right? There's children on Instagram. How many children saw that video I watched? So then, I'm feeling terrible, I'm very shaky. I end up having a massive panic attack at the end of the day, because this was just all getting to me. And I started realizing how easy it is to affect someone just by what you put on their feed. Because the truth is that a lot of us use social media all the time. I use it daily because I basically work in it. I kind of have to log in and have a look at what's going on. Other people, they use this to connect with family and friends, share funny videos. And these algorithms mold themselves onto the videos that you watch. And this can affect you. This can affect your mood, right? I reset my algorithm twice and nothing happened. It didn't change. Those videos kept coming. So sorry, I was trying to make this video more structured, but I'm just furious. I'm really upset. And I don't see many people talking about it. I see people complain about what happened, and I've seen a couple of news networks, but this is not getting the attention that it deserves, because this highlights a really serious issue about how your algorithm can affect your mental health. The next morning, I had a look, and my reels seem to have gone back to normal. So that's this morning, 27th February. There was an article from CNBC that says, Meta says it fixed an error after Instagram users report a flood of graphic and violent content. Meta has fixed an error that caused some users to see content on their Instagram Reels feed that should not have been recommended, a spokesperson for the company said. It comes after users took to social media to complain about a sudden wave of recommended content that included violent and sexual imagery. Meta apologized on Thursday and said it had fixed the error. This is the gist of, that's the whole article. That's not, why is that the whole article? This is huge, right? Who could have, how many people saw this? How many could have been children? This is not just a little blip. And to be honest, I think Meta are trying to sweep it under the rug. And I don't think that's acceptable. And let me clarify. I don't want to spread misinformation and say that there was any nefarious purpose behind this. In all likelihood, it was a bug, a glitch, something happened with the algorithm. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't still be held responsible for mistakes that happen. And let me remind you that more than 10 years ago, Facebook actually conducted a psychology experiment on over 700,000 users without their knowledge to manipulate their news feeds to control what types of emotional expressions they were exposed to test if people's exposure to different emotions led them to have different posting habits. So I won't eliminate the possibility that there, was some kind of test, but I personally don't believe that. But I can see why people believe that, because this company has been caught doing these psychological tests before. There's another article talking about how Facebook is letting some users see more disturbing content than others. But again, I don't want this to be a conspiracy video. I just want to find out answers for what happened. And I want people to talk about it more because there's a lot at stake. I wouldn't be surprised if some people are legitimately traumatized by this, if they begin to experience some kind of symptoms of PTSD. Because remember, PTSD is not just about actually experiencing something physically traumatic happening to you. It's just that perception of it, and seeing something traumatic, right, is traumatic. So Especially when you see over and over again real traumatic videos. That's not going to be good for your mental health. I can't even watch violent movies because it affects me too much. And interestingly, we know the difference between a video that's real and one that's fake. I would say most people do. I don't know how to explain that, but you can tell. You will not react the same to real footage of something like that happening and a movie. So on that point, let's talk about the mental health implications. You can see that I'm really stressed. Yesterday was a write-off for me. Those videos I saw, this one in particular, broke me down, right? I had intrusive thoughts all day long. I couldn't get the image of what I saw out of my head. And to be honest, I still am having that image flash in my head. And it's bringing me a lot of emotions and it's physically affecting me, right? My ectopic's gone through the roof because I'm stressed, because I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe knowing that this type of stuff is out there. I don't feel safe knowing that I could take one scroll on my happy little Instagram app and see something so traumatizing. And I'm now fraught with emotions and just horrible feelings. And what are the long-term effects on this? I'm lucky that I only saw those few videos and I, stopped using Instagram. I actually refused to open that app until I knew that something had changed. But some people were sitting there watching those videos. I saw a comment of someone saying they didn't sleep all night because they were just watching these videos. Now, if someone does this every day, what's going to be the implications on their long-term health? If someone who's feeling suicidal watches something like this, and I believe there were reports of self-harm videos on there, what? And then something happens to them. Who is to blame for this? I'm serious I think that there are probably thousands of people out there who have been seriously affected by this to the point that they should probably seek therapy and get help. People who may have been already dealing with mental health issues, people who may not have had mental health issues before, but suddenly have been thrust into this world of violence and disturbing things, which no one should ever have to see. I've just experienced firsthand how these algorithms truly do affect you and truly have the power to control and affect how you feel. That's a humongous responsibility. And look, I'm a free speech person. I think people should be able to say what they want to say. But this has gone beyond the points of the public square where, I'm out shouting stuff. In the public square, you don't have a personalized shouter feeding you stuff that only they want you to see, right? You hear the opinions of everyone. You hear the views of everyone who's there out. No, here we're blindsided. We're focused into, seeing what the algorithm thinks we want to see. And if that algorithm decides, oh, well, I'm going to give him some of this, I'm going to give him some of that, that will affect us. And you see this, I'm not going to go political, but you see this with, political rabbit holes and things. You watch a certain political video, you get more of that, and you turn into that view. It's dangerous. And I realized really that how it feels now is these algorithms are extensions of ourselves, right? You go into someone's phone, you look in their explore page, you learn a little bit about that person. If you're at home now going to your explore page, that's a reflection of you if you use those apps. So the fact that it can be manipulated and it can affect you is terrifying. My page was hijacked and it affected me. I never thought that something like that could affect me, right? Yeah, just turn it off, just don't look. And that's true. Yeah, fine. But not everyone's going to do that. And some people will just continue watching. Oh, well, this is my algorithm, so it's what I must be interested in. We're in a new time, right? And I just urge everyone watching this to think about that. What is your relationship with with the algorithms that you use. And I had been thinking about this before because I was going to do a video actually on this before this happened, because I noticed that there would be times where I'd go into more of, now I've never had depression, but more low mood states when the content I had been watching had been more, more things about like police documentaries, or violent, or murder documentaries, and just negative things. I would notice like, oh, I feel really anxious and actually just miserable this week. And then I look at my YouTube algorithm and it's just all negative content. And as I said, this is now an extension of us. And the fact that it's so easy for your algorithm to become like that, let alone it getting hijacked by whatever just happened, is in itself very scary. Extremely dangerous. So where am I going with this? Well, I'm not one of these video essay YouTubers, and I tried to make a structure, but I don't really have one. But I think my next point is on, well, whose responsibility is it for what happened yesterday? Is it my fault for watching it? All right, for not heeding the warnings, which, by the way, the videos didn't meet the guidelines, so they shouldn't have even been on the platform at all. Or is it the responsibility of the company? It seems like Instagram, like Meta, is trying to sweep this under the rug. That little statement, that article, there was no more information. I've seen a couple of news outlets pick it up, but I haven't seen an in-depth dive into what's going on. So I just want to show you here how it's affected one real person, and I'm sure it's affected loads more. Now, I know it didn't happen to absolutely everyone, but it happened to enough. One person is too much. There's an article I've seen by CBS that talks about, let me read it here. A previously unpublished internal document reveals Facebook, now known as Meta, knew Instagram was pushing girls to dangerous content. In 2021, according to the document, an Instagram employee ran an internal investigation on eating disorders by opening a false account as a 13-year-old girl looking for diet tips. She was led to graphic content and recommendations to follow accounts titled Skinny Binge and Applecore Anorexic. Other internal memos show Facebook employees raising concerns about company research that revealed Instagram made 1 in 3 teen girls feel worse about their bodies, and that teens who used the app felt higher rates of anxiety and depression. So I wonder how many people, along with me, their rates of anxiety and depression has gone up since the event yesterday. I'm actually genuinely interested in that. Meta should do something to talk about this, because loads of people are upset. To me, it seems like it's Meta's responsibility, since they actively do research on this. They've done tests in the past, psychological tests. They know what is happening to the people using their platform. So they know the effect of what happened yesterday, the darkest day in Instagram, would have had on people, right? So they need to talk about this. It needs to be more than an apology. There's probably loads of people that, like I said, need therapy after this. When we sign up to the platform, and this again for people who say, why did you watch it? When you sign up to the platform, okay, we agree to the terms and conditions. I know most of you don't read it, but some people do. Now, the terms and conditions, the community guidelines, tell us that this type of content is not allowed, right? So yes, it's up to you not to upload it. If you see it, of course, you shouldn't watch it. But we are opting into a place that we, based on what they say, is said to be safe. It's meant to be a safe place where we are supposed to not see these kind of things. So that's not my fault, or anyone else who watched it or was traumatized by that. That's Meta's fault. And are they going to acknowledge that? What are they going to do about it? We at least need some transparency on what happened here, and to know that it's not going to happen again. And if that can happen, what was it? Was it a hacker? Was the algorithm just went haywire? And how do we know that's not going to happen again? Seeing that it's so evident how much of an effect these personalized algorithms can have on the people that interact with them. So what can we do as individuals? So number one, I've always said this, I don't have any notifications on Instagram or any social media. I turn them all off. I try to limit my use of these social medias for, what I do. So I make these videos, I upload them, I do a bit of research, but ultimately, and this has given me a wake-up call, I need to spend way, way, way less time on social media as a whole, scrolling, watching videos. And I think that you should too, right? I've just realized these algorithms, I knew they were bad, but I didn't realize how, when actually used, can be so dangerous. So again, if you notice yourself getting low mood, if you notice yourself feeling more anxiety, take a look at what are you watching. Now Instagram, I'll give them credit, they do introduce a new feature where you can reset your algorithm. So if you find that you need to do that, then do it. And one thing that I've been doing is I've reset my algorithm. I'll just go search puppies and I will just like as many puppy stuff as I can so that my feed will just stay as puppies going on forwards, right? And I think the social media landscape is just going to get more dangerous going forward. So, and this is everything, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We should be allowed to use these as entertainment platforms, but right now we're at a new point in history. We're at a unique, history is being made, and we don't know how these things are going to affect us long term. So for my best advice is to take a step back. Another quick tip: if you see sensitive content, just don't let curiosity get the better of you. Just do not watch it. If you're on my channel, then you're not the type of person that can watch this. Just don't. And take my story as a way of just, okay, I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to leave some links to some self-help and some mental health resources, hopefully from around the world, if I can find that. Just in case any of you were affected and you might want to talk to someone about what you've seen or anything like that. And please let me know in the comments if you were affected by this situation. Just to kind of, let's use the algorithm right now. Let's give this a push to see if anyone, bigger than me can actually take this further, because I don't believe I'm going to be the only person affected. I don't believe I'm going to be the only one talking about it. I'm hoping there's someone out there who can just bring this to the forefront, because I don't want this to be swept under the rug. Like, this is an important issue, and maybe there's something that needs to be done. Maybe someone like legal needs to take a look at this and how these companies need to be held accountable. And I'm not against social media. Look, my life is social media. I built this on social media and it has so many benefits. But there are just also so many dangers, and we need to do this properly.